back. What's up, Jimmy?
Hey,
You
what's
haven't
up,
been,
bro?
been gone for a couple weeks now. How you been?
Been good, man. I can't
I
complain.
just realized I was talking without the microphone in my
Yeah, that's
fucking
okay.
hand.
Probably sounds like me, my friend.
Oh, we're starting out with a doozy. You could hear me though, right?
Yeah, I heard you. Like I
Okay.
heard you.
All
Yeah,
right.
you still heard, man.
Yeah, it sounded like I was like in the bath, like a bathroom stall, like the
Oh, it
bath.
definitely sounded like you were in the room with no
Okay.
microphone.
Okay.
But
Right
I heard
on.
you.
Well, shit. Welcome back, Jimmy. Damn, we haven't spoken about college football for 2 weeks now. Um, we can go back to where it really hasn't uh, changed too much.
Mhm.
Um, but I mean, if we go too far back, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to start off with what whatever you got this week with what
Uh,
happened anywhere, because this last week was absolutely fucking nuts.
well,
Thanksgiving
that's what we
weekend.
definitely got to start with, man. We got to start with fucking last week. That's because last week, a lot of shit fucking, you know,
Okay.
changed. Or you think about it, you had a fucking Alabama team that wasn't even in the playoffs fucking knock somebody out the playoffs, man, because they lost, not because they did something spectacular. You know what I mean?
And you're talking about when
I'm
okay,
talking. I'm talking about the Alabama game. So they won that game, and then Miami lost, and now
to
Miami
Syracuse.
is not even in the playoffs, man.
I know.
You
Isn't it
know,
beautiful?
I love it, but at the same time, I hate it, man, because how do you allow Alabama with 3 losses? You know, like how?
Dude,
They lost
yeah.
to Vanderbilt. They lost to Vanderbilt, man. So you could say, you know, like because it's a Georgia win? Is it because they beat Georgia? Like,
Dude,
what they got to
I
do?
don't well, because it's because of the conference they play in.
It's
That's
because it's Alabama, man. Let's be real. Like,
they're still trying to keep them relevant because if Jimmy, if I wrote down, like I physically wrote down
mhm,
the top 15 teams this week and looking like I'm still an old head when
mhm,
it comes to looking at the top 25, and this shit blows me the fuck away right
right,
now. Like there are
mhm,
this top 25 or this top 15 right now would not exist in the old system. And I thought that's pretty much what they were doing was just they're going to keep the old way they were doing it. But then the playoff rules are this. But
mhm.
it is seriously bleeding
Yeah.
into one another so bad. Like I don't even know where to begin. Um I mean, let's talk about fucking okay, Oregon. Oregon, you got it at number one. All
Yeah.
right, you can't argue that. They're 12 and
12
0.
and 0. Yeah,
They
12
beat
and 0.
everyone.
Mhm.
Um,
But they haven't played anybody. Ohio State, yes. They really haven't played anybody, man. They had a
but the,
really soft schedule. But other than
it,
Ohio, man, they had
it's
a
that
soft
doesn't
schedule.
matter.
Yeah,
It
they
does,
had a soft
but
schedule.
see, that's the thing. Like it matter. I say it doesn't matter, but it
So,
does matter to some teams. It matters, and it doesn't matter to other teams. And that's what's weird. If you are a Power Five conference team and you have
okay.
a soft schedule, it doesn't matter
Yeah.
if you go undefeated. Because of the conference that you're in. If your schedule's soft, they don't care.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's harder for a team outside of a Power Five conference to have pretty much the same strength of schedule when you look at the conference that they're in. Like you bring in somebody from the Sun Belt. I know the conference couldn't name you a fucking team,
Yeah.
but
Fucking ain't the Sun Belt like fucking like JMU and shit? Like JMU, fucking Old
I
Dominion.
thought the Sun Belt was like around Arizona and shit because it was sunny.
Dude,
I don't
like,
fucking.
there's so
Again,
many
we are
conferences, man.
we
Like
are
it's so
ignorant.
I
I
know.
should have brought up another. What
Yeah,
about the MAC?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
someone like
No,
that.
no,
Okay,
seriously.
yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
But somebody playing in that conference may have the same strength of schedule inside their own conference as one of these Power Five teams and go undefeated but not get the same recognition.
Let
You know
me,
what I mean? It's
yeah,
not equal rights in college
but
football.
let me say it like this. Let me tell you like this. Like, do you feel that Oregon, if Oregon had to play the same teams as, say, such as Texas or Notre Dame, do you think they'd be 12-0? Because those two teams had to play top 10, top 15, like multitude of ranked teams they had to play. You know what I mean? Like, I
It,
felt if Oregon was to be like have games like that, they probably wouldn't be 12-0, man. I don't see it. Like, I don't see that
no,
they got a
but
really soft schedule, man.
see, the only thing I don't like about strength of schedule arguments are
Mhm,
they change week to week.
mhm,
Because I was going to get into further on down the list with Georgia, Ohio State, Tennessee, um, their losses to certain teams. Because when people talk about their losses, they say, "Well, it was to a then number 8 ranked
mhm.
Alabama." But you know what? You're the same, not the same team, but you pretty much are the same
Yeah.
team from when you were ranked number 8 as to what you are now. You weren't that fucking good, is what I'm saying. If you get dropped and so that number 8 ranking doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how where you start, it matters where you finish, is what I'm trying to
Mhm.
get at.
Yeah,
So the
but like,
strength to schedule thing is because it changes every week, doesn't it? It's a fun thing to argue because, like you brought it up the other week, Notre Dame has played more ranked teams
more
than,
ranked teams. The
yeah,
only other team that came close was like Texas, and I think Georgia.
yeah, but they weren't always
You see
ranked
what Georgia's
teams. Like
doing.
A&M
Yeah,
went out of the rankings and
yeah,
then had to come back in.
yeah.
So again, it's who is that A&M team?
Mhm.
We don't know till the end of the season, right?
I
Is
mean,
what
but
I'm.
it's better than the Appalachian State, man. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you're talking about,
It
look at the
is
schools that Oregon played. Like,
okay.
dude, I never heard of them. Like, they are fucking
You've
small.
heard of Appalachian State? They beat Michigan in
Dude, like,
2000.
I'm gonna pull
They
up who they
upset
played,
that
and you're gonna be
one of the
like,
biggest
who the
upsets
hell?
ever in college football. Appalachian State over number 1 Michigan, 2007, I believe. Yeah.
So
Ooh, I
they played
can't.
like so. I know all the schools they played against. I probably should look at the schedule, but like, let's be real, man. Idaho, Oregon State, UCLA, Michigan State. Like, let's just talk about how sorry those teams are. Like, they're horrible, man. Like, they're
They
horrible.
they are, but I recognize them. They're big name schools.
Yeah,
So
like
they don't
Michigan.
have like they may have like weak talent, some
Yeah,
undisciplined, whatever, but they're still big name schools.
yeah, but they're not
They're
powerhouse
big,
schools.
they're big
They're
programs.
losing programs, man. They're losing programs. Like,
Only right now, but you know
yeah,
how I mean that shit recruiting the next year, some guys like turn it around, they get rid of their girlfriend that's been holding them down or some bullshit, and all of a sudden they start excelling at the fucking game of football. Who knows,
yeah.
dude? So I mean, there's now nil money involved too. I mean, it's just gonna change. With every year, the rankings, the
Yeah.
strengths of these schools are gonna change so much with the transfer portal and NIL coming in. It's
Yeah,
just
but the schools they're playing, they're trying to keep it where they play one ranked school, and so they got to bid in the playoffs, man. That's all they're going to do,
it's it
and that's why we're having the teams when it comes against competition, they're buckling. Like, just think about we were talking about all the losses this year. We
because
go
it
top,
doesn't matter.
yeah, but we go top 11, man. Like, I have never heard of this. Top 11 teams. You have a combined 15 losses, man. 15
Yeah.
losses, man.
When
Like,
was the last time we've seen
the
that in
numbers don't
college
even
football?
add up.
Never.
You know what I mean?
We've talked about it
It
before.
don't add up.
In the past, like one loss and you were fucking done. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
discipline was hard. It was we came out to fucking play
Yeah.
every single game.
You couldn't lose. You had to light it up, man. You had
Yeah.
to put up 80 points.
And now it doesn't matter, Jimmy. It makes for great TV that these
Mhm,
teams are losing back and forth here and there. The underdogs are winning more often now because that's the only reason that's happening. Those
mhm.
records are like that. Um, so it makes for better TV, but it also feels just like it doesn't matter. And like they, as long as you win, if you're in a Power Five conference
Yeah.
and you win inside your conference, it doesn't fucking matter any of those other games.
No, what it became is the NFL with two fucking extra wild cards. That's what the fuck it became, man.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what the fuck it became, man. It's turning so much into the NFL, man. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, and I think it's going to continue down that path. But like you said, now, dude, some off the topic, crazy fucking topic.
let's go.
I was reading, and this is how much the fucking college football has changed. There's a dude who's about to play next year, hit the transfer portal again, fucking, and is about to fucking go somewhere. And this is going to be his 7th year, man. 7 years.
Do they call him Doctor?
I don't know what the fuck
They
he's doing.
fucking better.
But he's been hurt. Like the crazy
That'd be
shit
a
is he's
great
been
nickname,
hurt
though.
everywhere. Yeah. Well, it makes sense, dude, because he sees them a lot. Like he's been hurt, like season ending. So that's why he got all these extra fucking years, like
Yeah,
seven
he's
years.
got eligibility.
So, like that shit's
Well,
crazy.
I mean, good for him if he can
Yeah.
still make the fucking team, which, I mean, I still I say that and I'm
Mhm.
realizing how stupid it sounds because he's getting older and stronger
Mhm.
where he's now playing a child like he's NFL size and not saying experience but been playing the game of football for so
Yeah,
long
for a long time,
that
man.
it is like
It's
he's
crazy
a
though, man.
veteran in the NFL for a couple years and it's just playing a child. Can you imagine a linebacker like that? Like some dude who just kept on getting bigger and bigger
When
and staying. We're gonna see that.
you-
We're
You're
gonna
going to
see
because the
that.
money's there now. The
Yeah.
money's there, man.
And
I
he's
think it's going to be like it's a love hate relationship with this new deal, man. Because I think it's going to make hopefully better NFL players, man. I think they're going to be better at their position,
I
like
think
core players. You know what I mean?
I think it's a mess right now and it's gonna work itself out. They're gonna have to
They
because they're
have
gonna
to.
you know how the everyone people are making money, so other people are gonna figure out a way to, rope it in
I think
and
they got to sign
but
contracts, man.
it's eventually gonna get to that.
If you getting fucking face value for your fucking the way you look, whatever your name, whatever your content, I don't know, whatever the fuck it
Yeah.
is, like you should have to write a 2-year contract
Every
minimum.
everything goes legal, Jimmy.
Yeah. It needs
Everything
to
goes
go. It
legal.
needs to go. It needs to go that way, man. Because these kids, like, there's so many kids right now, man, that committed. Like, they have that fucking high star recruit that was committed to like Texas or something, and they was like, "I'm flipping."
Yeah.
Like
No.
there's
These little hat ceremonies
yeah,
that ESPN are doing are now gonna be these fucking kids
mhm,
signing their name
yeah,
and with their mother right behind them.
yeah.
Can you
It's just
imagine the kid picks the wrong school and the mother's like, not fucking not happening. You're not going.
it's so crazy, man. Like how it's
Because
become.
technically some of these kids are still underage.
Yeah, it's
So
17.
can they legally sign? I know like international like soccer players and stuff like that, they've signed, like young ass kids. But I think the parents still hold a certain and I think we got into this before, like still hold a certain a legal aspect of that child, up until a
Mhm.
certain age. So a 16, 17-year-old kid committing to, like Clemson, and expecting big money from Dabo or whomever, that fucking shit school. I don't know why I keep bringing it up. They just lost to South Carolina.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it was beautiful.
yeah,
Loved it. I wish we could. It wasn't up here in Columbia, so we didn't get to see
yeah.
it. But yeah, so I mean, how does that work? I mean, these contracts are coming.
It's coming, man. They
They
have
have
to
to.
because these people are fucking just
Jinx.
like leaving programs, man. Yeah, they're just leaving programs and after committing, and it's just crazy.
Dude, yeah, well, the big money people, all
They
these
they
all these
look,
guys that are dumping money into these schools are
yeah,
gonna be like, no, 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 no. This transfer portal is gonna be, it may even get shut down, dude. I mean, it's gonna turn into a free agency thing instead of transfer portal,
yeah,
the TP. I'm gonna
yeah,
say the
yeah, yeah.
TP.
I got the TV.
That's what's gonna end up being because of the boosters. Isn't that what
Yeah,
they call them?
yeah, the boosters.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the people that are
the
giving
college
all the
mafia.
money.
The college mafia, man. That's what they are. They got big, they got loan money, man. They got they got
Dude,
loan money.
it's a collection of millionaires, dude.
Mhm.
Just you know how
Right.
many there's so many fucking millionaires right now. It's crazy. Yeah. We could be
Mhm.
millionaires, but nobody listens to us, fucking assholes.
Yeah. I wouldn't want it, man. I wouldn't want to
I
be
know.
millionaire. Just comfortable.
I would
I
like
think about
a
that.
million
Yeah.
once. That would be great.
He said
Yeah.
one. I
Okay,
don't know,
Jimmy.
man. Money comes with problems, man.
It does. More money, more problems. We know we grew up on that. P.
Come
Diddy.
on, man. Yes, sir. Oh, no, did.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, dude. Okay, so number two, Texas.
Mhm.
We're half an hour into our show. We're on number two, Texas.
Yeah.
How do you feel them? How do you feel about them being there?
I mean, like to me, number two, three, and four, they all could just pretty much switch. Like any one of those could move around those positions. I feel because they all kind of had the same, like fucking
Do they?
yeah. Well, I
I mean,
mean,
I don't mean to shit all over
Penn
my
State,
Notre Dame team, but that's
yeah,
in
Penn
Northern
State,
Illinois.
like
That's pretty bad. But
yeah, like
Penn State's
Penn
loss was
State.
to
Who did Penn State lose
I
to?
don't know.
Yeah, I'll find
I
out
should have
right now.
wrote that down. We are
Yeah.
shitty with our.
Mhm.
And then, well, I mean, Texas had their loss.
Yeah. So let's go with Texas first. Texas, they lost
Yep.
to Georgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, Texas, they lost bad to Georgia, man. Like they did. They like I remember that game now, man. Like 15 points they lost to Georgia. It
Early
was
on in the season, though, wasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah, because
it
that's
was
what
early.
knocked
They were
Texas
still
back
filling out the
down
quarterback. Texas was still trying to fill out the quarterback. You remember
between
they were playing Manning and they kept going
and
back and forth.
Ewers.
Yeah.
I don't like saying
So,
it, dude. And yeah, the Ewers kid's been killing it. And
and
that quarterback class at fucking Texas
it's
is
gonna be good.
looking pretty goddamn
Yeah.
solid.
It's gonna be solid, man. Like,
Yeah.
but the problem is gonna turn into one of those quarterbacks because don't
Are
Ur
in
really don't
are
he
they
doesn't he have one more year? Doesn't he have another year? Because I don't think he
Ewers?
said he's going to the draft. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
because isn't Manning a freshman?
yeah, he's a freshman, man.
And Ewers is like a
Like a
junior, I
sophomore or
believe.
junior or some shit
Sophomore,
like that.
junior. I think
Yeah,
he's a junior. I don't
yeah.
know.
But I don't think he fucking said that he's going to the NFL, declared. So I hate
Uh,
hearing from him going to
why
play, but
would
they
you,
probably
dude?
like they still got games to play, so he's not gonna say.
Why would you? Can you imagine the nil money at UT? I mean, Christ.
Can
They
you
had,
imagine the nil money that fucking Manning is making just for fucking sitting the bench? Think
yeah,
about that.
yeah.
As a
Just because of
freshman.
who his fucking
Yeah,
family is.
yeah, damn right. That boy making
Ugh.
some money, man. That's like, but yeah, but go
I
back to
hope
that.
he's a humble little
Yeah.
son of a bitch.
I I don't know, man. Like he don't seem you don't hear him fucking talk in college. Like
No.
everything's been good. You know what I mean? Because he
I've
has a
never seen
legacy.
an
You think
interview
about it, he
with
has a
that kid.
legacy,
Have you
man.
heard him talk? I don't even know if I've
I
heard him
haven't
talk.
no, I haven't seen him go near media or nothing.
Smart
Like he
kid.
went to all those camps when he was in high school and
Motherfucker.
shit. You
Well,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
dude. They were run by
yeah.
his family.
Yeah. So I think they kind of produced him to be humble. And the Mannings really were humble quarterbacks, like generational. Like
Yeah. I
it,
think it's because
it
they're
might have
so
been half
goddamn
over the field,
ugly.
but they were fucking humble.
Yeah. I think it's because they're so goddamn ugly. It's, just-
Yeah. No, I think because they got a
it's-
legacy,
I mean,
man.
yeah,
Like from
I mean
fucking
the
their dad to the
Jimmy, I'm
fucking
not
brothers.
denying the talent.
Yeah.
I'm not denying the genetic fucking talent there,
No, I'm
but
just
I mean,
saying.
on when it comes to the game of football, they are fantastic.
Mhm.
When it comes to being on the screen,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no fucking
Yeah.
peach, but goddamn,
They love him,
those
man.
they're
People love
not
him.
good looking people. They're not.
Look, people love him, man.
Yeah.
People love him, but they're humble. The whole family's humble, man.
Yeah.
Like all of them. You know what I mean? So, like going
This is
back to the
making me
list,
want some Papa John's pizza.
yeah.
Is Peyton
Going back to
still
the
a
list, like Penn State, Penn State lost against a fucking high-ranked Ohio State. You know what I mean? And they
they're
lost by
just
like a point. You know, like they barely lost. You know what I mean? So, like I said, like
so
Penn
Penn
State.
State should be two.
I mean, like you could argue all the like Texas. You could argue Texas points saying two. You could argue like Penn State. You could definitely argue Notre Dame because of the strength that they played and the people they played. And
Yeah.
besides that fucking
And
bullshit
and
ass
the fact,
game, that
dude,
was a
and
bullshit ass game, man. That was a fluke. That
have
was a
you
fucking
seen what
fluke.
Notre Dame's been doing to people?
Yeah,
Like just
destroying them,
beating them.
running up the score, like fucking playing good defense. You know, they had a couple bad
Yeah.
games. Man. They had a
Yeah.
couple. They had a couple bad games.
This last game, they had a 100-yard fucking interception pick six,
Mhm.
and they had a 99-yard pick six.
Dude, your defense is solid. Notre Dame's defense is solid, man. Like, there's going to be a lot of high draft picks coming off that fucking defense if they're if they're fucking
I
making
hope
draft
not. I
picks.
want to
Yeah,
see Notre Dame succeed. Well, because once they go
they're
to the
solid.
NFL, they spread out, and
They're
and then
solid,
I got to
man. They're
follow them
solid.
later. But
They're seriously like a high caliber team. You know, like
they are.
because they're really the only team this year that you can talk positive by because they beat a number 15, they beat a 24. Like they solid beat teams. Like they beat teams like with ease. You know, so
And
there's something wrong.
the only one that got away from them was a lazy game
Mhm,
against a Northern Illinois team. It
mhm,
wasn't high scoring. It wasn't an ass beating. It was Notre Dame couldn't. They just schemed wrong. I don't know what the fuck happened,
yeah,
but all I know it was neither team hit 20 points.
mhm.
So
It was a defensive game, man.
yeah,
It
I
was a
mean,
solid
call it
defensive game.
what you will. It's what it was. But
Yeah,
yeah, everything other than that game with Notre Dame, they've been beating the brakes off of.
mhm,
Every game I'm nervous about, by halftime, I'm like, all right,
mhm.
I'm gonna I walk away. Like
Yeah.
this is fine. I can relax now. And that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I love a good game, don't get me
Mhm.
wrong, a close game, but I like when it's other teams playing close games, not my own
Everybody,
team.
man, everybody's like that. Like
Yeah.
I hate a tight game. Like
Dude,
shit.
oh, I mean, I get the adrenaline rush, but
Mhm,
I'm not a young man
mhm.
anymore. I can't handle
That's
that.
called high blood pressure, young boy.
Yeah, that's what it is.
That's high blood pressure. We're old now. That's what we get. You know what I mean? Gotta take
Exactly.
fucking pills
It
and shit.
hurts. It hurts in like multiple ways when a game is that
Hell
close.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that shit is.
Yeah.
I get it, man, brother. I'm
You're
with
like,
you.
I
I'm with
literally can't
you.
breathe. I have to
Right.
fucking
I'm
leave the
okay
room.
with a 4 touchdown lead, man. I'm okay with that. Like
Yeah. Oh, that's
I'm
what I want to
okay.
see. And I'm not
Yeah.
comfortable. If it's a
Mm,
four touchdown lead in the third quarter with like 10:51 left
mhm,
and they're driving, I'm uncomfortable. Like I don't like to live in that
mhm.
anymore, that mindset anymore. I want to
I get
win
it.
outright and
I
walk
get it.
away.
Like I get it 100%. But that's why those three teams, man. Like you could change those three teams any which way. You could argue who should be number two, who should be number three.
Yeah.
But like then you start going down to five and down, and then
Here's where it gets messy.
yeah,
I
like to
do
me,
5, 6, and 7 right now.
man,
That's
like how
I want to
like
talk
okay,
about this.
I understand Ohio State losing. You know what I mean? Like losing fucking this last weekend. You
You
know,
understand that? What
I understand why they would fucking drop them, but I don't understand how they would drop them under Georgia. Like, didn't let's also talk about the
right?
game that they played last week against the in-state rivalry. You know, Georgia Tech. You know
Took
what I mean?
8 fucking overtimes to beat a Georgia Tech team.
That's
Granted, Georgia
a
Tech was
7 win
7 and
team, man.
5,
A
weren't they?
7 win team. A 7 win team. Yeah,
Yeah.
and you got them above. That to me is disrespect. Like that
Yeah.
is disrespect because Ohio State prior to last week was having a pretty. They had fucking a solid game where they ended up losing. But prior to that, like Ohio State's been balling, man.
Their
Like
only loss was to
yeah,
Oregon before that.
and it was a 1 point game, man. So
Yeah.
how do you drop them below a suspect Georgia?
During during one of, and I hate saying this because I love my Notre Dame so much and the old school rivalries
Yeah,
they have with everyone. But literally probably I say literally and then probably afterwards I'm contradicting myself. Anyway,
come on.
Ohio State, Michigan lately has been the biggest fucking rivalry in college football. That game, I mean, because you had Harbaugh and fucking,
Mhm,
whoever the fuck it was for the, you know, before Day.
mhm,
Who's the guy that's there at Ohio State now? Anyway, doesn't matter. But that game right now has been, in my mind, the biggest route. It's been so close. Remember,
Mhm.
like that tackle that they said was short a couple of
Yeah.
years back. Yeah. Anyway, that game has been the biggest rivalry game that I've seen, and
Yeah.
so for Ohio State to lose that to an unranked Michigan, I don't
Yeah.
think is as big as an upset as it was made out to be.
Mhm.
Um, and we'll get into the end of that game here in a
Yeah.
minute.
Oh yeah. We're definitely
But
gonna get into that. But like,
I'm just saying, like that shouldn't be that big of a loss for them. They should be
dude,
above Georgia
so let's talk about Georgia, man. Like Georgia lost to an Ole Miss, pretty much got dominated that whole fucking game, and then they lost to that Alabama. But then they had that debacle against Georgia Tech last week, and let's also not forget how they almost lost to a Kentucky team, and they won by one game. That's why I'm saying the disrespect. They
Okay.
can't. They
You
can't,
know,
man.
I
They
think
can't be
okay.
above them.
I think we
I
should
would put
just
them down. Like I put Tennessee above them, man, just because of hatred. Now you can't, but just because of the hatred, like I believe that that's kind of where it needs to be at.
I think based on our previous discussion as far as um like never these teams getting lazier and allowing these wins or losses against these no-name teams,
Hmm.
why don't we just go ahead and chalk up one bullshit loss
Hmm.
to every team in the top 15 and look at it like that. So now you have an unranked Oregon, of course. They
Yep.
stayed number one. Uh, not unranked, I'm sorry, an unbeaten Oregon. And then you have an undefeated Texas, Penn State, and Notre Dame
Hmm.
before you get to undefeated SMU, Indiana, and
Hmm.
Boise State, which should
Well,
remain
SMU got
down there.
one loss. They got one loss. They got one loss.
Yeah. So
But
how do you rank that? You
well,
know,
it's
like
all right. So it falls under that. See, this is the thing that I don't like about the new college because sometimes they use this. Well, SMU really hasn't played anybody, so that's
yeah,
why they did it. But then you have teams that's further up that haven't played anybody, but they're staying in that position.
because of
So
the
they pick and
conference
choose
that they're in.
because there's no money at SMU right now, man. They're not.
Not
They're
yet.
not fucking. There's more value. This is fucking crazy. There is more value in a three-loss Alabama team than SMU because they're fucking doing everything in their power to keep them in there. They should not be in there, man.
Dude,
I don't
Alabama
give a
should.
fuck. They won last weekend. They should not. They should not even be in it, man.
When
Like
when
Miami
was
should definitely be
Jimmy,
in it, and they shouldn't be in it. You know,
when was
because
the last time you've seen a three-loss team in the top 25,
that's crazy. You know,
right?
but they got this man in the. They got the man. They
11.
got this team in the playoffs.
Yeah, at
That's
11
insane.
because of the
Like I don't
conference.
like, and that's why this is all about the money. That's why they got the nil. That's why this is. It's going
All
to be
about the
great.
Benjamins, baby.
It's going to turn into a business. It's going to turn into NFL. They're going to have start having contracts. It's going to be where you have to stream it through Hulu or this or that. It's going to turn into a business, man. It's
So
going to it's going to do the same thing.
so let's get back to scrapping away that we'll just give every team one
One,
giveaway loss.
yeah.
So Georgia 10-2. Um, their losses are at Bama and Ole Miss. Which one do you
Mhm.
throw away? Which one do you chalk up to a fluke?
I have to say, oh man, well, I don't know, man. Like, because Alabama always plays them good, man. Alabama always plays them good. Like that, it's always a solid game. So, like, I don't think that was a fluke, for Alabama because they have that was throughout time been a playoff caliber fucking game right there. Them two playing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would say Ole Miss. I'll say that was
Okay.
a fluke. Yeah.
All right. And now Ohio State. They got losses at Oregon and Michigan. Of course,
I have to say Michigan,
we
man.
have to say
I
Michigan
have to
on
say
that one.
Michigan,
Yeah.
man. I have to say
As much
Michigan.
as
Yeah.
as I just talked up that rivalry when your only other loss is to the only undefeated team in the country, that's when you got to throw away.
Man, that was you talk about a defensive game, brother. That
Yeah,
game there, that was a physical, hard nosed defensive game, man.
fucking tough.
Like they were like everybody was hitting. That's why it got so choppy. That's why
Hmm.
it got to what it became. You saw it. Like you saw it. We'll talk about that, but you saw it, man. Like,
Yeah,
but
crazy. So now we get to Tennessee with
mm-hmm.
losses, Arkansas and Georgia. Of course, you got to toss
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Yeah.
Even though, dude, I thought the Razorbacks at the beginning of the season were going to be
They
some
look like they had
upsetters,
something. Yeah,
and
yeah.
because they
They
were
look like they
playing
had something.
LSU pretty hard.
Mm-hmm.
Or did they beat LSU?
Every game, I'm telling you, man, like every game Arkansas played this year was kind of a tight ass game, man.
Yeah, at the beginning, and I think they
Mhm,
just kind of fell off. But um, yeah, dude, I don't know. I mean, Arkansas's always been kind of like just
mhm,
barely keeping their head above. They're like a
yeah.
drowning team, like a drowning kid in a fucking pool. Like event every once in a while they kind of get come up for some air,
That's gonna
and they
be
get and then they go right back down.
that's gonna probably be another team that because of nil benefits, man.
Yeah,
Because the location where they're at,
dude,
you
they're
know,
the
they can.
only team in Arkansas. Like really, like
Well, no, not just that, dude. Like now they could fucking make nil money. They could fucking they are constantly fucking playing caliber teams, so they're gonna get fucking recognition.
and
So
that's what I'm saying. Like they're the only like
yeah,
name
and the
any other
location.
state that only has one
Yeah,
big school. I
yeah.
mean,
That's
Arkansas
that's
State isn't
Arkansas, man.
shit,
Yeah,
but
but
Arkansas is like the University of Arkansas.
yeah.
You know, they got
But it's their
Clinton
location,
money.
man. They're close to Florida, they're close to Texas, they're close to Louisiana, they're close to Tennessee.
They get
Like now
residuals.
they can fucking start prospecting for people because now there's money involved.
Yeah,
Man, the Arkansas has always been like that team that's on the cuff of turning into a great program. You
dude.
know what I
And
mean?
location's such a
It
big thing with
is,
college
man.
because
Because
they're
people want to drive
kids
home.
and they're
They want to go home
kids
for the holidays, man.
and they
They want to
don't
go
want
back
to
and visit their friends.
they're like, oh, I still don't want to be too far from home because I
Mhm.
miss mommy and daddy and whatever.
Oh,
So,
you learn
and
that.
it's
You got
kind of
kids.
scary, dude, you
Yeah.
know?
But you understand that because you got kids, I got kids, and that's why our daughter went a half a day's drive away from us. You know,
Because there's
far
also
enough
the
to be an
pair.
adult, but close enough to come home on the weekends if she wanted to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what
So,
I'm telling you, it's going to be
oh,
prime. Yeah, and
dude,
they can go there and be a superstar on top of it, man. You
right?
know what I mean? Like that. I'm telling you because like you're going to Arkansas, man. Like I ain't trying to shit on that school. They're going to be good if
Yeah.
given the right program
It's
and
the only
money funded
school
for
in Arkansas that
it.
has
So
a fucking
yeah,
football program that's worth the shit. So,
yeah,
damn, dude. Okay. So Tennessee's lost to Arkansas. We're gonna toss because their
yeah.
only other one was to Georgia. But see, isn't that weird? Because Georgia is, I don't know, dude. I don't know about that. Like, I guess so.
You have to because at the time Georgia was balling.
Yeah,
Yeah, they were balling out, and then that kind of set the fucking emotion of them struggling after that. It fucked the
but
confidence up, I guess.
I'm saying I don't agree with it because I don't think I like Georgia at 5 with
Mm.
those two losses.
Dude, I'm telling you, I don't trust Georgia at five, man.
So if
Like
I
I don't.
drop Georgia, then that makes
OSU
their
has
lo-
to go up. They Georgia will have to stay at six because they beat Tennessee.
yeah,
So like they have to stay at six. And SMU and Indiana, that could be the same thing. You could argue both ones of being in the top position above. You know what I mean? Like
dude,
this,
Indiana got
this
exposed. I was so looking forward to talking to you about that because before the week we missed the last week, you were talking up Indiana before the
yeah,
Indiana Ohio
yeah, and
State,
they got
and
destroyed.
Ohio State
They
beat the
got beat.
fucking brakes
But the
off them.
crazy shit is, I was like, man, look at this, man. I was right because the first fucking quarter and a half was a good
Hmm.
fucking game. And then it turned into this nightmare where fucking interception, fucking sacks, punts, like it
Yeah,
was they just turned it on. But yeah,
we
like
we call that getting exposed.
yeah, they got I call it,
Yeah,
like I said, destroyed. They got destroyed, bro.
they
But
played a team that could adapt.
yeah.
You know,
Well, they played.
that's the strength of a team. Like when you can go into halftime and come back out and
Dude,
you have a different kind of scheme of how you're
but at the same time, you're talking about a team that was at one time before fucking last weekend was fucking like they were in the championship, man.
yeah,
That's what
they were
everybody was talking about.
undefeated.
Yeah,
And I
so
think that goes to the whole bleeding of the system. Like that, I think they were very happy. I think the committee was very happy that
mhm,
Indiana lost, so
mhm.
now they could drop them that far because I don't think they really wanted to see Indiana
They
in
don't
there.
want they don't want to see him in top. Like I tell you, after like
I don't think
I'm feeling,
they don't need to be there, but I don't think, yeah.
dude, I'm feeling in the next year or two, they're gonna fucking weed out these championship games, these extra games. Because I got a
Mm.
feeling like it's gonna
Dude, what
fuck
it's gonna
everything up.
be, what it's gonna
It's gonna
turn
fuck
into, like
everything
you
up, man.
said, it's gonna turn into a money thing. The schools with the biggest, it, the schools with the biggest money are gonna make certain bowl games or whatever
Mhm.
against because when you pin money school against money school in a fucking money area, it equals money.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna get
know,
money. It's a business.
it's a business, like you said, it's a business, and I think that's what it's coming to. But they're gonna have to do it in a way that confuses us, like they're
Yeah.
doing right now.
Well, I think what I'm
Because
talking
how do
about.
you put certain teams above other teams?
No, what I'm talking about right now is like they're gonna eliminate the fucking these last like SEC championship, ACC championship. They're gonna
Okay.
eliminate these because schools are not gonna want to take part of it. Because think about it like this, man. Think about this weekend in general. Think about the ACC championship.
Yeah.
So if they get beat by Clemson, now what do you do with the fucking playoff? Who's in? Who's in now? Because now they
You have
lost.
to put Clemson in there.
So
And
no, but like,
Clemson's gonna get the dog shit beat out of them
and that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm thinking why, like as a business, because bad football. Because what's going to happen now? You're going to have this team that's number 17 that had a good night, or the other team had an off night, going against a powerhouse fucking team, a program.
Isn't
What's
this
going to
what the
happen?
people wanted?
But
Isn't
nobody
this
wants to watch a blowout, man. Nobody wants to watch a blowout.
no, nobody wants to.
Because what happens
Jimmy,
business
I'm a
wise,
Notre Dame fan.
yeah,
I've seen them
yeah.
play in the national
So like
championship
what I'm saying is like ratings. So what's going to happen? People going to see it in the second quarter. It's 41-12.
and turn
They
the
turned it
fucking
off.
game off.
So now you're losing ratings. Now you're losing money. So
Hmm.
I'm telling you, I can see in the next year or two, especially after this weekend, we find out this weekend whether or not they're going to change it. I think they're going to have to, man. I think they're going to fucking have to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. I think yeah, dude,
Dude, there's some big
they're
games on this
still
weekend.
working out the kinks and like, dude, I didn't even. I mean, I have it written down as my big games, with all the championship games and that one because I didn't think there's any way like Clemson's gonna beat SMU. SMU's gonna.
What happens if Georgia
s-
beats Texas? Number
eh,
five beats the number two. So what happens then? You see what I'm saying? Like the
Okay, well, and then you can't. I mean, Notre Dame doesn't have a fucking conference,
Mhm.
so. But
Yeah,
I mean, now we're talking two different things. I'm sorry, because I'm going over to the rankings,
yeah,
so that doesn't matter. But when you're talking these championships, yeah, dude, these upsets right now, the way we're looking, I mean, Oregon State, Penn State really isn't that big,
no. But
unless
it could be if everybody say number five Georgia beat Texas, and then
well,
you got number three Penn beats Oregon.
I just
So
realized I fucked up
oh, what's happening?
because if Penn State beats Oregon, does that puts Oregon at 12-1, which would drop
The average drop in about
That puts Notre Dame out of the fucking
yeah. But
playoffs.
the crazy shit is if Penn was to beat Oregon, because averagely, like how they've been dropping a team that is ranked. Like, look at Ohio State. They lost one game. What happened? They dropped 5 or 6 spots.
Yeah.
Like, high teams, they're dropping 5 or 6 spots. So now do you put Oregon at number five and number six? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
dude, I don't
what
know.
would you do to number two Texas if they lost? Where'd they go?
To a number five Georgia who have
Yeah.
losses against Bama and Ole Miss, which we've already
Yeah.
discussed.
That's
Dude,
why I think they're gonna get rid of these championship games, man,
they
because
have to
they have to. Because what's going to happen? You're going to have teams that shouldn't be in there, like
because of, like you said, one bad week,
Mhm.
the upset, and now you've got bad football in the playoffs, which
What?
is what we've been trying to get away from.
So think about it like this: like fucking Boise State plays UNLV. What happens by the grace of whatever? Fucking UNLV wins by a field goal. Wins by a fucking field goal. So now, like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do, man? It's too
You're gonna,
dangerous. It's too dangerous for college football to keep it the format this way. Once
yeah.
you extended it, like you can't. You got to get rid of the championship games.
It worked like
Give them the bye week. That's when they
they
got a bye week
they were
or something.
looking, it feels like they were
Yeah.
looking at like the past like
Yeah.
decade or whoever, and
Mhm.
they're like, well, these have been the majority of the teams that have been in the playoffs, so if we just hook these playoffs up, we'll still make, but they never accounted now for these teams to just throw fucking these games and come into these conference
Mhm.
championships with 2 and 3 loss and
So
still have the potential to lose against.
think about the ACC championship. So does Miami move up now?
I, no,
You know
you
what
can't.
I'm saying? You see,
Oh,
like, does Miami move up now? Like, fucking because,
dude, they
like,
would shoot Miami way up because they're ten
yeah,
and two.
that's what I'm saying. Like, they have to get rid of this format, man, because there's too many variables that can make bad football when people turn off the TV. If it
Yeah,
was me, business minded, man, I would eliminate. So if you are in the playoffs, I'm gonna go ahead and give those teams a fucking a fucking first round bye like you normally have, and then
yeah,
everybody fucking the bullshit games come out. I'll put all the bullshit games out that fucking week, like the fucking Doodoo Bowl, the fucking Great Year Tire Bowl shit. Yeah, that's what you'll be playing right then, and
yeah.
then we'll have the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like because you have to,
But
dude. Like I do not want to
yeah,
see UNLV play fucking Clemson
I
or
think,
like
I
Clemson
think,
play.
I think they should have kept the old system in place
Mhm.
and allowed Nil to come into the league for about 4 or 5 years and then get some structure around that, because these teams are gonna start doing different things with all this money like we've discussed, and then implement this playoff schedule, because now, like you said, we've got a shit show on our
Yeah,
hands,
man.
Jimmy.
Like
Like,
this shit could
I'm
get real fucking
confused just
stupid.
talking to you about it.
Dude, I'm telling you, man. Like I was looking at this shit when fucking like after last week and everybody, I'm like, man, this fucking I was like, look at all these fucking championship games. Like this shit's gonna matter. Like somebody that's ranked might not be
Yeah,
in the playoffs because they lost this game.
right.
Like, is it
One
really
game,
worth it?
one fucking game. It like you said,
Is
it
it
doesn't.
worth it?
It isn't.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Unless you got guys trying to win a Heisman. So let's get into that,
oh yeah.
please.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna take a
Speak
we're
of
gonna
it.
take a break, and then we're gonna get into Heisman talk because I have to
Let's
pee.
do it. Come on, pee it up.
Yeah,
Urinate.
baby.
Mhm.
1, 2, 5. Oh, let's go on 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'm
All
like,
right, Jimmy. Before the break, I brought up Heisman talk.
mhm.
We are so close. A couple weeks away, I believe, from the Heisman vote. Or 1 week? Is it 2 weeks? I don't fucking know.
It's
Anyway,
probably about 2 weeks. I
yeah.
think 1 week. Yeah, I think it's two.
Um, so I'd like to hear your thoughts on I think, well, let a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
the top contenders were Travis Hunter out of Colorado,
Yep.
Ashton Genty, am I saying that
Yep.
right?
Guilty. Yep.
Boise State, Cam Ward, Miami,
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel, Oregon, Cam Scatabo, Arizona State. Travis
Mm-hmm.
Hunter is a wide receiver and defensive back. Genty, running back. Ward, of course, quarterback. And then Scatabo is a quarterback too, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a
Okay.
quarterback.
Well, um, from my studies, it has emerged that the top two right now, it's going to be between Hunter and Genty.
Yep.
With Hunter, they're saying is more than likely going to take the Heisman this year. Jimmy, I would like to hear your thoughts on that.
I mean, at first I thought it was going to be the Boise State running back, Genty, because I was like, this dude's about to fucking destroy the fucking rushing record. But because he was on pace for it, but then like he just didn't get there because he's way off from like I think it's Barry Sanders has I think either career or season, but I know he's nowhere near it. Like I know he's like right now he's ranked where he has 1,893 yards,
Yeah.
and he's not even top 30 all time. For where he's at right now. So is he a good running back? Did he have a good year? Yeah. Did he do anything really special that fucking makes him stand out that you need this guy? I mean, he did, but I feel that Travis Hunter did more. You know what I mean? Just because it's like he's about to do shit
Dogs.
that
Sorry.
never
Go ahead.
happened in college. You know what I mean? For a guy to play this
Lay
many
down.
snaps, you know what I mean? Like, dude is averaging like 124 snaps a game. That's fucking ridiculous, man. You know what I mean? Like Travis Hunter, like that dude. I don't know, man. It's just something special about that kid. Being able to fucking play the caliber that he's playing and still be able to stay healthy and do it at the same time. You know what I mean? What's your feel on it, man? What do you think? What do you think?
Um, I would just okay. It's gonna be I have a
Come on,
hard take.
come
Th-
on.
This
Hard.
this this Heisman
Take it hard.
this Heisman year is no question.
Mhm.
It it goes to Boise State. It goes to Genty, running back. That dude, his numbers, he he has already put up better numbers than what Derrick Henry did when Derrick Henry won the fucking Heisman coming out of fucking Alabama. Okay?
Mhm.
Um, let me just put it like this. Jet, he's got 2,206. Hold on, let me get these dogs out of here. Get the fuck out.
You're right. No, he has
Go.
2,288
Get out.
like all purpose. He got
Get out.
2288 all purpose yards.
Yeah. Sorry. They're
I
about
got
to
you, brother.
fight,
I
so I had to
covered
get
for you.
angry. Had to
You're
get
good.
angry.
I covered.
Had to get the dog out, man.
Yeah, you're right. No, I
Okay.
said it, man. I was
Okay.
it's 2,288 yards
88.
total
Yeah.
offense.
Which, Jimmy,
Mm.
this is the leader in the country by a total of 628 yards.
No,
That's
I'm not,
incredible.
dude. I'm
Okay,
not
hold on, hold
doubting
on,
it.
hold on. This
Yeah.
is this is my argument.
Okay.
He has 28 TDs on top of
Yep.
that.
Hmm.
Okay, that's incredible.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't care. Like again, when people bring up, well, they didn't play anybody, dude. No, like I don't care.
He's
Those
still
kind of
running their yards, man. You gotta give it to him. You
that
you
dude
still
is putting up fucking
you
numbers.
still got to deal with a front seven. So yeah, yeah, absolutely, bro. I agree with you.
Or eight. Because, dude, you're the leading running back in the country. You don't think defenses are
Mhm.
stacking eight in the box against you to
Yeah,
stop you? They're
they
doing
have to.
exactly that and they're failing. Okay? That's how good this guy is. Now, okay, Hunter is
Dude, like, all right,
oh, there's go ahead.
so let me explain why I say Hunter. Because like you're big on Genty, and I get that. Like, and you should. Like, I'm not
Big,
taking anything
big.
from him. I would love to draft him on my NFL football team. There is no questions. I would take him in the first round. I would take him in a high pick. I would trade up to get him. Like, I feel he's going to be that kind of caliber running back. But right
Yeah.
now with Travis. we're seeing something that never happens, man. Like this dude is playing both. Hold on, this dude's playing both sides. He did something in the NFL nobody has ever done, like ever. Like yes, the running back you talking about, people have had seasons like that before. Like I said, he's not even ranked 30th. If we're talking about all-purpose yards, he's not even in the top 40. If we're talking rushing yards, he's not even in the top 30 of all time. We're seeing a guy that has in one game 50 receiving yards, a fucking touchdown, rushing touchdown, and a score touchdown. Like playing on the defense. It never happened. There was only one time that it happened in a season was in the NFL with Champ Bailey. That's what I'm saying. Like the reason why I'm so high on Travis Hunter, because like as a cornerback, people don't understand this part of it. He may not have 32 interceptions. They're like Deion. They don't throw to him, dude. They won't throw to his side of the field. And when they do, he runs it back. Like they tried him last weekend. What'd he do? He got an interception. He should have had two. They don't throw to him, man. I watched almost every Colorado game. They don't throw to his side of the field when he's there. They don't. They won't throw to him. And that's some caliber, like primetime caliber type cornerback, man. On top of being a receiving threat. That's just my take on it,
Okay,
man.
okay, I know. And,
Yeah, this
and
is my
now
take.
and now and now you're gonna get my take on Travis
Come
Hunter.
on, talk to me, brother. Hold on, somebody pulling in my damn. Oh,
You're
that's my wife.
fucking right.
Never mind.
Oh,
It's my wife.
okay,
Yeah.
okay,
I'm like,
all right.
somebody pulling in my
This
driveway.
motherfucker about to pull out the gun.
Chitty chitty bang bang.
Yeah.
But no, go
All right.
ahead, brother.
He's a two-way player.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
He is good at one. He is mediocre at the other. Okay. This Travis Hunter is the social media Heisman. That's all this is. I guarantee you, all this kid is a product of good fucking stamina. Okay? You can get other wide receivers. I guarantee you there are kids in these other programs that are wide receivers that are like, dude, I could play cornerback too. I know routes. I can do this. But you know what? I'm too fucking valuable to my team to be out there playing defense, risking injury when I'm better for my team as a wide receiver. Hold on. Let me go off. I'm still
Come
going.
on, go on.
All right.
Eat, man. Smoke.
He has 92 receptions,
Okay.
1,152 yards, 14 TDs. He's top five in wide receivers this year. He's not even the best wide receiver in the country. All right. So eat shit. Okay. As a defensive back, he has 32 tackles, 4 interceptions, 11 pass breaks. 4 interceptions. There are 14 guys who have more than at least 10 that have the same amount of interceptions
So that's what I
and
just said. They don't
from
throw to his side of
better
the field,
fucking
dude.
teams.
They don't throw to his side of the
Dude,
field, John Boy. That's what I'm
I've
telling you.
watched the same
Like they
games
don't
you
throw to
have.
his side of the
He
field, man.
gets burned just as many times as he makes a spectacular fucking play. Travis Hunter is not the Heisman this year. That dude is hype. He is a product of
He's not
Deion
hype, man.
dude. He like what I'm saying.
Dude's
You
been like
would
dude's
he's
been in
not
college for
even the
2 years.
best in either one of the positions that he plays.
Dude, but what I'm
This
saying,
should go
the
to
dude,
the best
yo, but I
player
understand
in
what you're
college
saying.
football.
But what I'm trying to say is that you're saying is hype. Hype is a
It's
flash
hype.
man. This dude has been doing this his whole college career.
I don't
Like it's
care.
not like last year he averaged 113 snaps last year. Fucking missed one game last year. Same shit this year. Missed one game this year. You
So
know, it's
because
not
he
hype,
has a
man.
good
That's
diet and
phenomenal,
stays
man, to
healthy,
have
you're
that
gonna
kind
give
of
him a
stamina.
Heisman for that?
Bro, but no, like for
No.
being able to be a high caliber, what he's doing. You said top five. Name me the other top five that can play cornerback at his level.
No,
Like
no,
he's
no.
playing
That
high
was
caliber fucking
he was
cornerback,
top
man.
five in wide receiver.
Bro, they
He's
do
not
not
even
throw
the
to him.
top, he's not even top
That Kansas
25
State game,
defensive back.
that
He is
Kansas
not
State game, they
even
wouldn't even throw to his side of the field.
he's not even a top 25 defensive back in college football, Jimmy.
Dude,
He's
I'm not
not.
saying what I'm saying is that he's a high caliber individual
He's
where he's
not.
doing something
He's
like
hype.
dude,
You're
I've seen this
believing the
before.
hype.
I've seen this before. I've seen this running back before, man. I have never seen this, what I'm seeing right now, man.
because they're showing it to you. That's what I'm saying. Like he is a social media Heisman.
Nobody
This
does it, man.
this guy
The only
is
other
not
person that ever
he's
did this was Champ Bailey. He was the
he's
only
not
before Champ Bailey, nobody did this. Like
he's
that's what I'm
good.
saying.
He's good at two things. He's not great at either one.
Yeah.
You should be the greatest if
At
you're
one.
getting the Heisman.
See, the reason why
You
we have
should be
two
the
different
greatest at
I
getting the
understand that. I
Heisman.
understand that. But like perspective wise, we are seeing this two different ways. Because the way I'm seeing it is that I have never seen this before. And
Dude,
it's high caliber.
oh
Yes,
yeah,
I understand that he's not the number one receiver in
he's
the
not
league.
doing it.
He's not. But
The
dude,
standard,
how difficult it is to do this, man.
it is very difficult.
Like how to do this
But
like at high caliber where you're not getting burnt up and down the
I don't
field.
know about high
You know what I mean?
caliber. Look at the conference they play in. It's not high caliber. He's he's just playing snaps,
Bro,
Jimmy.
like they
How
play
many of
more
those
ranked people in
plays were
SMU,
running
dog.
plays?
They
Like,
play
who
more
gives
ranked
a
people in
fuck, dude?
SMU. So if we're not talking about SMU schedule, we shouldn't be talking about Colorado
Again, I've
because
said it many
SMU
times. I don't
have
care
not
about
had
strength
the
of
strength of
schedule.
schedule that Colorado had
But
this year.
but you can't say that he's playing snaps and then be like he's not defending passes every one of those snaps. Half of those
But he's
snaps
running
are
full
running
speed
plays.
down
He
the
ain't doing
field
shit.
covering a receiver. Like that's the thing you're not
He ain't
understanding.
doing
When
shit.
he's a receiver, he has to run down the field and run routes. When you're a cornerback, you have to follow that man around the whole fucking field, whether it's a run play, whether
Yeah,
it's a
but
pass
Jimmy,
play,
if you're playing the
and
left
you
side of the
can't take
field,
time off, man.
if you're
Like
on the
I'm just
left
saying,
side of the hash and the
come on,
ball is
hey,
run to the
first
right
off, Cowboys,
side,
you know well
as a
as me, man.
cornerback, you're
Like
barely doing anything.
you barely, come on, man. Like
I'm just
you're
saying, dude,
a
watch the
dude,
film. The
a
guys at the top
dude
of the
is
screen
running
ain't doing
full
shit.
speed at you, bro. A dude is running full speed at you. You're saying that you're not. It's not that hard.
Dude, what I'm saying is, what like if I'm a corner, I'm a defensive back against a wide
Got you.
receiver, and the play is gonna be on the right side of the hash. It's a sweep that way. I guarantee you, me and this wide receiver are gonna be like, uh, unless that fucking dude breaks through my fucking my linebacker core, and then I may try and run. I'm saying his snaps shouldn't be a thing. He's not. He's all he
It
is. He has
should
good
be, man, because
stamina. He has
that
good
would make sense if
stamina.
you're running the ball four times a down. Like all you're doing is running the ball. That makes sense.
I'm not saying it,
But
but I'm saying
that's not the
I,
case. That's not the
I'm
case.
I'm
Like,
saying half the snaps he plays on defense, he doesn't do anything. And then
dude,
you take
they
half of the snaps that he does do something, and he's getting burnt.
Dude, they no, they put up the stats of his numbers.
He's not
I
that
watched
good.
it earlier. They put up the stats of his numbers. They don't throw to him. So I don't know what you're saying that he keeps getting burnt. And when they do,
Yeah.
he has 11 pass breaks up. He has four interceptions. You get what I'm saying?
He
They
has
don't
four.
throw to him. Dude,
There
they
are
don't throw
there
to
are
him. They don't throw
25
to him
other
that
guys
side of
in college
brother. They
football that
like
have
I'm
four
telling you,
interceptions.
every game that's
He's
been on
not.
my every game that I fucking been on college, my four games, Colorado's usually been number one because this year they've been on TV nonstop. I watched all
He's
their
your
games.
social media
Right.
Heisman, Jimmy.
I watched them. No, it ain't social media because I'm seeing what this program is becoming, man. Like this program
It's
won
hype.
one game last year. The year, like over the
Yeah,
last 4 or
that's
5
the
years,
hype
they,
master.
bro,
You're
they
talking
won
about the
six.
hype master.
But you're talking about a program in the last 5 years that won 7 games, 7 to 8
Okay.
games in the last 5 years to a
He
program now that had a potential to have a high like
he
a bowl
brought
game, like
his
a high
entire
one.
team with him, Jimmy. Like when you bring your squad,
And he lost
he
his
brought
whole
his
entire
fucking
team,
squad.
dude. He lost all his offensive line. That's why they have no offensive
He
line
brought his
because he
squad.
ain't bring one
But
offensive lineman. See,
he
like
didn't need
I'm
to bring his
watching this
offensive
team,
lineman
Cowboy.
because his offensive lineman at Jacksonville State sucked ass. He brought everyone that was good.
Everybody left, man.
He's
They
just
lost 30 some
I'll
people in the
say
transfer portal,
Colorado's
man.
hype.
Like
Travis
it ain't
Hunter
hype,
is
dude. Like
hype.
how hype? How can you say like hype? I'm not saying they're
He's
winning a
not the
national
greatest
championship.
in either of what he does. He's not the best player on the fucking field anytime at wide receiver or at fucking cornerback or defensive back. He is not the greatest player on the field at that time. That's what I'm saying. When
So
Gentry's on the field, he is the best player on the field at that time. Every time he's on the field.
I mean,
Travis Hunter is not.
I'm not gonna
And
just
that's what
like
the Heisman is.
my perspective and the reason why I'm telling you that I'm going for. I'm not taking anything away from Jenny. Jenny
Hmm.
is having a phenomenal year. I get that. I told you I wanted him drafted on my team. Like I do. He's a great running back.
I'm not
And he's
talking about
great
draft.
coming out the backfield. What I'm saying is the reason why that I'm picking Colorado and I'm picking Travis is because I've never seen this before. That's it. That's
Okay.
my
I
perspective.
get I get that.
Yeah.
I get
And
that.
like and the crazy
And
part is that's
you know what?
why like everybody has the same mentality that I have. That's why if you look at Vegas right now, who's
That's a
winning it?
stupid guy.
The odds.
Well,
But who's winning it, John Boy?
I don't care.
It's because
I don't
everybody
care
sees it
what the
the same way I
masses
see
think,
it.
Jimmy. Jimmy,
Like we're
you
seeing it
know
the
I
same.
think
We've
people are
seen this,
stupid.
but
Be-
we've seen this before, man. We've seen
But
better caliber running backs do this. Yes, he's having a ass crazy year
he's
this year.
having the best
He
year
is.
out of
But
everyone that is in the Heisman Trophy run.
the main reason is because the multitude of running backs in college, Boise State really runs a one-man set. Every other college, Georgia, Army, Navy, they have 2 to 3 running backs running the ball, correct? Correct.
Okay. Okay.
I mean that's logic, bro. Like that's what's
But
going on. But
we're
like
not we're not,
they
we're not
they only have one running back, man. They use
okay.
one running back.
So
That's
you're
why
saying
he has
oh
1,800 yards,
you're
brother.
saying that because he plays every play, that's why he has that
He
many
has
yards? So why doesn't
the
Travis
army.
Hunter have more? Why doesn't
So
Travis Hunter have more interceptions if he plays every fucking play?
I mean, no, like
He
what
doesn't.
no, what he
Same.
doesn't. He doesn't. But what I'm
He
saying,
is
see, you getting
when it
stuck. Like I'm saying that this dude is the best that he ever played at his position. So I'm gonna say it one more time for you, man. What I'm saying is my perspective is that I've never seen anything done like this before. It ain't
okay
that he's the best at his position. It's the same
at
reason
either
why
one of them.
Vegas is agreeing with me is because they have never seen anything like this. Like that's what
I
I'm saying.
think
Dude,
I'm sorry. I'm gonna digress a little bit because I
come on.
have a little bit higher of a standard when it
Mhm.
comes to
Seeing something.
back and forth players, okay,
Okay.
two-sided players. And I think the standard is it's a baseball and it's Otani, and you can
Yeah.
say it's not as
Mhm.
aggressive, but that guy was the best at
Yes.
at the plate, swinging the
Yes.
bat, and the best on the fucking mound.
Yes.
So he deserved his MVPs,
Mhm.
his, you know, he got that. What I'm saying is Travis Hunter is nowhere near the best at either one of the positions
Okay.
that he plays on the
So
field, and so he
no,
does not deserve the Heisman.
John Boy, I 100% agree with that. And that's like I said, that's all about perspective, brother. Like you have yours, I have mine. Like fucking, if we're talking to Dodgers, yes, absolutely, that motherfucker deserved what he got because he was, man, he was. But what I'm saying for like this in college football, man, we're talking two different totally sports.
But
I'm not sitting here,
I think
but
there's
I'm not
other
sitting
wide
here saying
receivers
like,
in college football that can come out and be like, I'll play defensive back.
yeah,
And
I
they're
am
gonna
not stating.
destroy whatever bullshit numbers. I'm just saying, if you give Travis Hunter the Heisman this year, you
Mhm.
are gonna see more two-way players that are gonna be happening, and they
Yeah,
are gonna blow these stupid numbers out the water because these numbers that he's putting up are garbage for Heisman talk. And either wide receiver or defensive back, you would never be talking about this guy with those numbers. But
dude, like
because he plays both sides of the ball, that's why we're talking about him. I don't get it.
no, I mean, and I understand your like reasoning for that. Get off me, dog. Like, this fucking dog is attacking me. I
She
love you, man. I love
she's feeling the tension, man.
you.
It's the
No, she good.
tension.
My service dog, man.
Yeah.
But no, dude, I totally get that, John. Man. I get it. And like I said, man, that's why you see it one way, I see it another way. I'm not arguing with you saying that I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just saying the reason why I feel so strongly towards this is
Yeah.
those are the reasons for me. Now,
I just like
and the same
arguing
thing,
with you
like I
because we're
look at
doing a
so many
podcast.
different things. Like I look at fucking the Boise State running back. And like I said, man, if there was any other running back that got the ball single handedly, was the only running back on your fucking team. You get what I'm saying with the carries and all that.
So you're blaming the offensive
No,
coordinator?
but what I'm saying is it's nothing too great, brother. Like what I see with him, It
Oh,
ain't nothing too great
because
because
you're
we got an
seeing
army team.
teams
Hold on,
with
we got an army team, dude, that had 3,300 yards, but you can't give him the Heisman. But if you would have chose the leading back and just ran him one time, do you think he would at least have 1,800? Because a man
no,
had 14, he
no,
had split carries. He
no,
had 1,400 yards split carries. He
no.
had half the carries that your running back had that you're
Because
talking about.
because of the offense that you're running and the way that the
See,
defenses start
like, look,
scheming against you.
but
But
it's
if
not.
Army
What's
was
your
a
argument?
one set back, he would
But
know that running back would never hit anywhere near those numbers.
the man has split carries and had 1,400 yards.
Yeah, I know, but that's because
The back you're talking about had 400 more yards and played every down as a
yeah,
running back.
no,
So
he
that's
had
what I'm saying.
600,
Like he
600,
hasn't done anything special to me, man. He hasn't done anything special. I'm
except
not
run
saying he ain't
over
a great running
everyone.
back. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
He's
I'm
like
just talking
Ricky
about perspective
Williams
from what
without the
I'm seeing.
weed.
Huh?
He's like Ricky Williams without the weed. That's how I see him.
He's a great running back, man. I'm not taking anything from him. I'm not going to sit here
I
and say
know.
that he's not good. But what I'm
Jimmy,
saying
I just
is,
love the back and forth, dude.
I just
What?
feel that, yeah, I just feel that fucking if another running back in this league, if they had more teams that
So,
single handedly, because it's two, three
so
running backs
what?
now, both still going to
How
do
many yards would it have taken for him to win the Heisman over Hunter? He's got.
it. To me,
He'd
if
have
he
to.
all purpose yards, if he broke 2,000 yards, then I'll fucking
He
consider him.
did
No,
two
that's all
thousand
purpose.
two
No, no,
hundred
no.
and
That's all
eighty-eight.
purpose. We're not talking about passing, man. We're not
No, no,
talking
no,
about
no,
passing. I'm
no,
talking about
no. I'm
running game.
saying Genty, the running back.
He has 1,886 yards rushing.
He has
He
total
has 20
2,288 yards.
with passing. That's all purpose yards, man.
Okay, I mean
That's
that
all,
makes
I'm
him a
talking
better.
about
That
rushing. I'm
makes him a
talking about
better
strictly
back.
rushing, like
He's
strictly rushing.
he's kind of a two-way running back. He's a runner and a catcher. Wow,
Shit,
that's
400
kind of
yards,
like
bro.
Travis
No, no,
Hunter
no.
being
When you talk
a.
now, like, so you want to talk stats? You want to talk about two plays? That'd be Marshall
Okay,
Faulk, where he gets a
okay.
1,000 yards each. You know what I mean? That's not 460. We're not
Did
talking about
Marshall
that.
Faulk win a Heisman though?
Like that's the kind of numbers we're talking about.
Well,
You talk about
okay,
double
but
back.
that's what I'm saying. Like if people want to split things, like oh he plays offense and defense, so I'm like, well this running back runs and catches. So isn't that technically wide receiver and right? He plays two positions too.
I see what you did there, brother.
Yeah. I hope Travis Hunter does not win the Heisman because he
I
doesn't
hope he
deserve
does
it.
just out of spite now, John boy. I hope
I
just out of
know,
spite, just
and
out of
he's
spite. Now,
oh,
yeah,
the
you
thing
might
is
even
like
convince me. I want to let you know,
I
man, just out
get
of spite, man.
I
I hope it
I
don't happen.
get I get that the Heisman Trophy is for the best player in college football.
Mhm.
Okay, that's what it's supposed to be. But that dude does not transition to the NFL as a two-sided player. He
He already
does
said that
not.
he wants to. Like he already said he wanted to, bro.
He's not, dude. You're not
He already
taking
said
that
he
guy.
wanted
You're
to,
not taking that guy. You got mediocre numbers, bro. I'm just saying, like
brother. He
now
already
it's
put
an
it out there
even
to his
more money
agent. No,
game.
this is the crazy part.
He
He
ain't
already
doing
put
that
it out
shit.
to his fucking
He
agent.
ain't
Somebody's
doing
gonna sign him, man. Somebody's
Yeah,
like,
and they're gonna fucking turn his ass.
and there's
You
no, like he
they won't.
said that he's going. Hold on, I'm trying to tell you what he said to his agent for his agent to tell the NFL
Yeah,
that he's playing both ways, and if you draft him, he's only playing both ways. He's not gonna fucking just play one
Jimmy,
position. That's what he said he wants to
if you're a
do.
GM and a head coach, and you see
It
those
would be
numbers
stupid,
from
dude.
a
It would be
guy who
stupid,
says, "I am gonna take up,"
dude. It's like we've seen it though. Like
he doesn't
we
transfer to
have
the
seen it.
NFL. He doesn't
We
play
have
both
seen it.
ways.
He's not big enough. I
They
don't
don't
think
do
he's
it.
big enough to play both ways in the NFL, man.
No,
I'm not saying that.
no.
What I'm talking about strictly this
Yeah,
year and the stats. Next
yeah.
year in the NFL, no. I'm saying he wants to do it. I'm not saying it's going to work.
He doesn't.
He
He
is
doesn't.
way too small to
That's what I'm
play
saying.
both ways, brother.
It,
Like he
yeah.
can't. Like I'm sorry. You need about 40 or 50 more pounds to play both ways.
If that guy
Like
wants
you
to
got to.
play, if that guy wants to make money, he stays in college football
You have to
because
be
the
Debo
NFL
size, man.
does
You have to
nothing.
be Debo size to play both ways, man. Like that's what I feel about
If he goes to the NFL, he's going to be one of those end around runners.
it.
That's it. For like Baltimore or somebody, and that's what he ends up being because
Sure, I
that's
think
one
he's
of
gonna be
the
a, no, I think he's gonna be a
no, he's
solid
just
slot receiver. I think he's gonna be a solid slot, like fucking Beasley
yeah,
numbers, 700, 800 yards a season. That's what I
he's
feel he's gonna be. He
he's
gonna be
he's
spectacular.
college football legend. He's NFL trash, is what he
Mm.
is.
Man, look, I just think, man, I like
Mm,
watching that program this
mm,
year, man. They
mm,
fucking look good this year.
mm,
Like
mm.
I
But
like what they were able to do. They lost
buying
some
into
games, they sent a
buying
loss,
into
but
the hype.
they look good. It ain't hype, man. They're a solid looking team,
Why are you
man.
getting upset every time I say hype
No,
then?
because you're saying I'm buying into hype. No, I'm generally
Yes.
watching them and seeing that they got a good program. From what they I look at a college from what they were to where they are now. And they're
Yeah.
fucking way
But I
better than
mean,
they've
Jimmy,
been the
we
last 10
talked
years,
about
man.
that all that's going to change. All that's all the looking at where they are, where they
Mhm.
were, and where they are now has changed so much because of the TP and
Mhm.
nil. So
Yeah.
you really can you really make a big judgment
Well,
on
like
when a coach moves to a program and brings all their players like Lincoln Riley moved to fucking from
he
OU
didn't
to
bring up like you
USC
keep
and
saying
then
that he
all
brought
of a
all the
sudden
players, man.
USC was a
He didn't bring
contender
all the
with Caleb
players.
Williams and OU no longer was. I mean,
Bro,
it's you can't say
three players really that he brought from fucking Jackson. Like three players, his son, his other son, and Travis. Name somebody else that he brought that is a no name that's doing something right now. Name them. He
I
ain't
don't
bring the
know
whole
college
team,
players. I
brother.
don't give
He
a
didn't
shit.
bring the whole team. That's what I'm saying. You saying that he's bringing the whole team. That's why he won.
He,
No,
guys,
he turned it into a winning
oh,
caliber
so
team.
he only brought the most important fucking positions. I mean, a kid he's coached his kid his entire fucking
Why
life.
not? Why wouldn't
Well,
you?
I mean,
Wouldn't
I
you?
get it, but this is
Wouldn't you?
about prime. This isn't about why are we talking about Shadir now? Like, I don't get it. But
No, what I'm saying is
wait,
because you're
Hunter
saying
came from
compared
Jacksonville
to
State too?
the people that he brought.
Wait,
I'm
did
just telling you
Hunter
that
come from
the main
Jacksonville
pieces that
State?
he brought. What's that?
Did Hunter come from Jacksonville State too with prime?
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Then why the
Yeah,
fuck
that's
are
what
we
I'm saying,
talking
man.
about?
Like no, like he brought his sons. That's who he brought because his sons wanted to come with him. It wasn't
Yeah,
that you coming
I
with
think
me.
there was more. I think there was
No, like
more. I'm pretty
they
sure I
wanted,
saw
dude. It's fucking like half the people
transfer.
that
There
came
was
there,
more.
they left, brother. Like the whole team,
Or they
like
got cut
they said that
because
there
he
was
wasn't
no
playing
hope.
them.
This is why they won one game last year. Because he said, if you ain't fucking about winning tradition, pack your bags because I'm coming.
What the
And
fuck you
what
know
they do,
about
they all
tradition?
left,
He
bro.
was his
They
first
all left.
fucking year there.
And he still fucking did what
Talk
he
about
did, man.
tradition.
Like he still did what he did. And you can say that it's like social media shit. No, man, watching this dude generally coach at one college do fucking really good. Get a second college
I'm not
doing good, and people are still saying it's hype. It ain't hype, bro. Like he's a good
I'm
coach.
not saying he's a bad coach.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad coach. What I'm saying is when Jimmy, when you played Madden, when you could build your fucking player, your own
Mhm.
player, and then bring them up from NCAA and then go into Madden, how
Mhm.
many fucking games did you lose? Did your program ever get better? Yeah,
Bro, we
because
talking
guess
Madden right
what?
now, man.
You
We
knew what the
talking
fuck
Madden,
you
man.
were
Like,
doing. This
come
is a
on, man.
moment
Like,
fucking
come
like
on, man. Like, we're talking
I'm
Madden,
just
dude.
saying,
Like,
yeah, that Deion
the two
Sanders is
main
playing
pieces.
fucking
Look,
Madden. That's
you know
all
what
he's
it?
doing.
No, brother, you know what it is. The
He's
same thing
gonna
that's
go to the
going on right
NFL
now,
now and
Colorado.
he's gonna
So
fucking
these
take
four
all
or
these
five. Hold
dudes.
on, man. So these
Watch,
4 or 5 star
watch.
recruits, these 4 or 5 star recruits that he's getting ain't a factor why. It's just because he brought his sons. That's the only reason they're winning. But these
Dude,
4 or 5 star recruits that he's getting, like Horn
because
Jr., he wasn't at Jackson.
dude,
He
it's
came
Deion
there.
Sanders.
But that's what
We're
I'm saying.
living in a world of social
He's
media. These
bringing
kids
people
look
to
up
his
fucking Deion
like he.
Sanders back in the day.
Bro,
They get under the same blanket of
so hold on.
bullshit like when he
So
was
you're
hyping
saying
himself
that,
up at Florida State. That's what I'm saying, dude.
brother? No, like
He's
the whole problem issue is
this
so
guy's
Nick Saban's
taking it.
been
He's
doing this
playing
same
Madden.
exact thing for the last 15 years. Now Prime's doing it, it's an issue because he's prime time and he's bringing people there.
I'm not
Dude, like
saying he's not a bad coach, Jimmy. What I'm saying is this dude is playing Madden. He's using everything that he's ever been and turning it into like
gold.
it's about him. It's about him.
It's not about him, man. It's about
Yeah, it
his
is.
program.
How the
It's
fuck
about his
is it not
program. It's
about
about his
prime time?
program, man.
It's
Like,
always been about prime time.
bro, like it's not about prime right now, man. You know,
Always been.
since he became a head coach, you know, all his students,
I've seen his
they're
ass
great. Like, look at this
so
kid
many
they're talking
fucking
about.
times on
Like,
the TV.
yeah, like but it's true, John Boy. Like it's not a
You know
lie.
who I
It's the
don't
truth.
see?
Like,
Any other college coaches that many fucking times on my fucking TV. I see his
oh, so
ass
because he got
all the fucking time.
see, that don't make no sense, man. Because he has coverage, like he got coverage, like that's a bad thing. Like that don't make any
I'm
sense, man.
not
Like
saying it's not, Jimmy. What I'm saying is he's using his
he should.
media presence.
You're trying to win championships. You
Yeah.
should. I
What?
would.
Because it's
I would
about
be all.
him. Because it's about him.
It's about him being prime time. That's getting all these great athletes to come to his school. Yes, absolutely. But at the same time, like just because you get great athletes to come to your school,
I wouldn't
you
call him
got to coach
great.
them up, brother.
I
You
wouldn't
got to
call him
coach them up,
great. Jimmy, where are they ranked in the fucking play? Where are they even in the playoffs? Are they in the top 25?
bro. The
Let's
first,
not call
all
these
right, John, bro.
players
Now we're being
great.
ridiculous, brother.
All
Now we're
right.
being ridiculous. So, like,
Let's not
so he
call
should have won
them
a
great.
championship his first year. He should have won a championship his first year.
Who?
That motherfucker got as high as fucking like he if he didn't lose those two bullshit ass games that he shouldn't have fucking lost because his players fucking gave up on him.
We're not
Like,
calling them great.
but not like real shit, dude. Like this motherfucker came out from the last couple years of what his program's been. Like Colorado. You know what Colorado's been for the last 10 years, brother. You know what they've
Na-
been.
Name me
And his
another
first year
coach.
out,
Name me
his
another
first
coach
year
that
out,
can do what
he
he's
went on a
doing
seven
and
game
people would
win streak
accept it.
his first year out, man. Like this is a brand new program. It takes two
It's
to
not a
four
brand.
years
The
to build
Colorado
a
Buffaloes
program.
been around for years, motherfucker. They won a championship against Notre Dame in 1988. Don't tell me the Colorado Buffaloes is a new fucking program, man.
Brother, I'm not saying that they've been irrelevant. You're putting words in my mouth. They've
Yeah.
been irrelevant.
You
So
just said
what
they
have
were a
they
new
done in the
program.
last 20 years, John Boy? You
They
want
ain't
me to
been
pull
doing
their
shit.
record up? What have they done in the last
They're
20? Last year
trash.
was their record.
They're trash.
One
And
game.
that's I
What
get
was the
it.
year before? What was the year
They
before?
suck.
Two games.
They
This is
suck.
the program I'm talking about, man. Like, look where they're at now. I'm
Nobody's
not saying this
saying
is the greatest program in the world. I'm not saying any of that. But you have to give recognition that this school is in a better place now than it's been for the last 5 or 6 years.
okay, but
That's all I'm saying,
there are
brother.
plenty of schools that have been
This is not
going
my
up
team. I
and
should be
not
defending
getting
them like this.
the same hype. And I keep using that word because
Mhm.
it's exactly what it is. Because there are programs that have been doing the same thing, but they don't have Neon Dion fucking talking shit every
So,
fucking
like,
week as a head coach. They have a fucking humble ass head coach trying to win program games
all right. So let
and
me ask you a question.
not trying
So,
to be on the fucking big screen.
what is this
And
new college?
but then
What is this
everyone
new
gets
college
pissed
football about,
when everyone talks shit when he fucking loses.
brother?
He
What is this
should
new
lose
program?
and
What
get
is
his
this
ass
new?
handed to him.
What is the new college about? Nil, right?
Yeah.
Nil, right? So, what do you think him talking on social media, hyping everything up? What do you think that
It's,
do? It brings
he's the
money in.
social media fucking
It brings money in. No, it brings money in for the nil,
exactly.
which they need to pay these kids for, right? So
Yes.
now, perfect
You're just
example,
agreeing with what I'm
the
saying.
fucking chicken said no, but no, I'm agreeing with what you're saying because you're accurate about that part of it.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing what you're supposed to be doing as a good, proper head coach with the nil. Why? Because you need the money to come in. You can't just count on boosters. Ticket sales
Dude,
over
the the
200% jump increase.
the
They're sold
last
out. They're sold out years from now.
the
Season tickets
last
sold out.
the last coach I saw try and live up to any little hype bullcrap was when Kelly went down to LSU and was doing those stupid videos with the
Mhm.
guys, and it turned out fucking horrible.
But Deion's not doing all that, brother. Like he ain't doing
No,
all that.
but
He sits
he's
on there
doing
and talks shit.
everything
We're
else.
showing up. He
He's
he
doing
he,
everything
he
else.
instills in his program, we're going to win, and you gotta have an arrogance about him because
This
that's always been prime time, man. And that's
he
why he's
is
a champion because
he
that's what he
he
did, brother.
he is the only I guarantee you he as a head coach in college football
Come on,
has more media time on his schedule than any other fucking head coach. And
and
why,
a great
Jimmy?
business
And
move,
why? They're not in the playoffs. They're not even in their
brother,
conference fucking
brother,
championship.
brother,
Why
brother.
the fuck are we
John Boy,
talking about them?
John Boy. If you're, let me put it in perspective, man. Let me do it like this, bro. If you say that you've been a Notre Dame fan, and for the last 3 years, you had Colorado's record. And then this year, you have a chance and opportunity to do what they did because they still ranked. They still ranked this year, top 25. They still ranked, brother.
What I'm saying is
So,
that
like, you
no
wouldn't
other
be
team
excited.
is getting
Hold
that
on, hold
type
on,
of
I'm asking
media.
you a question. You wouldn't be excited about that if that was Notre Dame. You wouldn't be. You'd be
I'm
like,
not I'm
"Oh,
not saying I
this
wouldn't be
motherfucker doing some
excited
dumb
about that.
shit."
What I'm saying is Notre Dame's whoever head's coach it was wouldn't be getting the same type of media coverage or looking to get the same type of
Mhm.
media coverage as Dion is. What I'm saying is Dion is
But it's business,
putting
brother.
himself out there and like
Business,
they're not that good. They're
brother. He's
not.
building a
Did he
program.
turn the program around? Yeah,
Yeah,
it happens all the time in college
come
football.
on, man. But like this dude's doing it though,
But
man. Like he's
because
doing
he's
it. He's
doing
doing
it
it though.
as
Like
Deion
at a
Sanders,
fast
we
pace. He's
have to
doing it at a
fucking
fast
care.
pace.
No,
Right,
we
bro.
shouldn't.
Like they were talking. They were talking 3 weeks ago. They were talking about them possibly being in the playoffs, bro. Like 3 weeks ago, they were talking about that.
They were
So
talking
what
about
you have to
Indiana
think
being
about
in the
that?
playoffs
Yeah, they
too,
lost. They
and they
lost.
got a way
They
better
had a
record.
total fucking ass collapse to a team they shouldn't have fucking lost to. They lost. You get what I'm saying? And I understand that it's a brand new program, man. Like, see, I know that when you look at a brand new college program where they change out all the pieces, when 30 some people out of 60 people on your squad decide they no longer want to be with you and go somewhere else. So now you got to fill these spots with young players and still be able to have the record that you have this year. Dude, I'm just saying if Deion don't follow his son, which he'll probably end up doing, if he stays with that program 2, 3 years,
Okay.
people are going to be talking about it, man. The turnaround for that school.
I
Because
mean,
it's
we're
only
talking
going to
about
get
it too,
better,
but I
man.
mean, if Dion leaves, the program may hold up for a year or two, but then it goes to shit
They're going to
unless
shit again.
and
Yeah.
but I guarantee you, Jimmy, there wouldn't be as much coverage about the new Buffs
And I
quarterback.
guarantee you it'll go back to what it was before, where fucking low ticket
You know what I'm
sales,
saying?
no
Yeah,
jerseys that were being sold.
exactly.
Dude,
Deion
like
Sanders is a
everything went up.
social
We're not
media
talking about
fucking
50,
coach.
brother. We're not talking about 50. We're not talking about 60% boost in ticket sales and fucking product like clothes, hats, all that. We're
No,
talking about 100%,
I don't
270%.
care.
Like,
I don't.
no, but
You're
that's
talking
money.
money. I'm talking about
But what
bullshit.
so like if we're talking money, we know we're talking about the
I
nil. Where's
I
that money
don't
used for,
I
John
don't
Bull?
like what they're feeding me is what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
when I turn on the TV, that's bullshit. I'm smart
I
enough to
like it, man. I like the
recognize
arrogance and
that
cockiness,
that
man.
program,
I
that
like
dude,
it.
and it's just
Look,
sponging up all the money he can to make a fucking buck. Yeah, he's doing it with
he
a
don't. It
fucking
ain't for
put.
him,
But what I'm saying is like, dude,
dude. He's making
it's
2 million dollars a game as a head coach. You know, he's making $200,
yeah,
$2 million a game, bro. Like
yeah.
6 games ago,
I
man.
don't
Like
just I don't
he don't. And it's Dion. He don't need the
play
money.
fucking football. Let's go out there.
Exactly.
Let's play
That
fuck.
this is.
Shut the
But
fuck
this
up
is
and
the
play
new
football,
football,
Dion.
man. This is the new football, man. This is the new football because he has to. It's
So
fucking like
agree
wrestling.
with me when
Yeah.
I call him the social media fucking Heisman, and that team is the social media fucking. The only reason Colorado is in the fucking news as much as they are is because of Deion Sanders. Nobody's
Absolutely,
looking
man.
at Travis Hunter without
There's no
Deion
argument. There's
Sanders.
no argument about that, man. Because like he did, he changed that whole program around, man. He changed
Yeah,
everything around, man. Like he got fucking. It's going to take time. He has Hall of Famers
he
as their
brings
fucking position coaches,
he
man.
brings a spotlight to that team that shouldn't be, and then like this casts a light on players that shouldn't have a light cast upon because there are other players in college football that are doing better than that and not getting anything that
You
these
can't.
guys are getting.
You
That's what I'm
like.
saying. Like it's bullshit.
I mean, I respect your opinion on that, brother. Like, I'm not gonna argue with that. Like, that is definitely your opinion.
That's
Fucking
that's
dog
a
over here chewing on my
that's an
toes.
argument ender.
Yeah, yeah. It's
I've been
like,
in
but
therapy
it's
once.
not like it's not. We're beating a dead horse. But no, like, dude, I get your
Yeah.
view of it, man. I'm not arguing with you, and I get it. I get it. It's just like your perspective and my perspective are way two different things. You know what I mean? And that's
Yeah.
okay, brother. That's what I love about this discussion, man. Like, I love
All
it.
right.
You know?
Let's get off that before I
Come
start getting
on, man.
all
You want to
and
go? I got no
let's
third.
finish off this episode with these upcoming championships. SEC championship, Georgia at
Yep.
Texas. Who do you got?
Georgia at Texas. I just fucking don't trust Georgia, man. I don't trust Georgia. I just don't trust Georgia. I'm going Texas, but
Okay.
now that I said that, fucking Georgia will probably beat the shit out of them.
Don't
You know?
reverse the curse, man.
Uh, uh,
You gotta go
but
with
like
your
no,
heart.
like I think everything on paper, everything that should be everything
I'm
tells
gonna
me that
circle this.
that Texas is not just going to beat Georgia; they're going to beat the shit out of them. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be angry. You know, what I mean? That's how I feel about it.
Okay,
But
so you,
like I said, I don't trust Georgia this year, man.
all right. So Big Ten, Penn State at Oregon. Who you got?
Penn State. I just
Really?
yeah, I got Penn State, man. That's been my hidden
At
team all year,
Oregon?
man. I just think I just hope that defense shows up and don't fucking prove me wrong.
Do you
But
think Oregon's gonna come out in some badass uniforms or what?
oh, absolutely, it's gonna be fucking. They got their playoff bound uniforms now, man. They got like four or
They
five
got
different
that
ones.
playoff Nike money.
They might change that. They might change that bitch at halftime, man. And put on a new one, man. Like, they got that kind of money.
Just to confuse the defense.
Yeah, they got that kind of money, brother.
All
Yeah, I
right.
got Penn State.
Oh, we talked a little bit about this one earlier. ACC, SMU at Clemson.
You ain't gonna like me, man, because I know SMU is your
You're gonna,
squad, man. But I think
Jimmy. I haven't liked you for half this episode, so
I'm
let's
sorry,
go.
man. I'm sorry for being an asshole. I don't want to be that guy,
You
but
don't have to be in it.
I
You're
just think
going.
that not because I think that SMU's a horrible fucking team, even though they haven't played anybody. But what the way I
Why
feel
did you
about
pause right there? Or was that a glitch?
it, gotta get dramatic. I just think that Clemson's going to be a spoiler, man. I think they're going to come in there and
Dude,
just fucking be the spoiler.
the you bring that up, and now the only thing that scares me about that game is that um
We seen it last week, man.
Clemson just lost to South Carolina, their in-state rivalry, the Gamecocks, at Death Valley in Clemson. So for
There's so many things, man.
For SMU to come into Clemson and beat Clemson, for Clemson to lose two games in a row, two big ass games in a row at that's big. So
Mhm. I think he's going
if
to be a spoiler, man.
if SMU wins this game, I think that means something,
Mhm.
and I hope they do
Yeah,
because I
I
hate
think it's going to
Clemson.
be something, man.
I've hated
I think
Clemson since they beat Notre Dame in that hurricane game.
I'm in the ACC. I always hated fucking Clemson, man.
Yeah.
I hate them as bad as I hate Virginia Tech. I
Give
ended
me
up, bro.
that. Yeah, what's up? All right. So you've got Clemson. I'm gonna hate circling that. Oh, we haven't even talked about this at all because the Big 12 is now pretty much irrelevant. But
Yeah.
Iowa State at Arizona State. When was the last time you've seen? I had to double take it when I was writing it down. I was like, that's the Big 12 championship.
Yeah.
I don't see
That's it.
OU. I don't see a
Nothing.
Kansas State. I don't see Oklahoma State. I don't see a
Nope.
Baylor. I
Nope.
don't. I mean, I don't even know if all those teams are still in the Big 12, but that's a crazy. That had me looking twice. So who do you got
That
on that
game,
one?
man, it's a coin flip, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. Like it could go to me, it's the same fucking teams. Both of them are the same fucking team,
But
man. Like
Arizona
seriously.
State has Scotabo, the
Yeah. But
who
yeah,
used to be a Heisman hopeful.
man, it used to be.
Yeah,
I don't
since we
know.
already
I
talked
think it's
about
the same
Heisman's.
caliber. Like uh, I'll
It's
go Arizona, man.
I would yeah, I'm
Yeah.
taking the home team.
I'll go Arizona just because it's
If it
home
was
court
at Iowa State, dude, the Cyclones are upsetters, but they're
yeah,
upsetters at home.
at home. And
They're
they be
not
blowing people out,
they
man.
are not
No Diddy.
upsetters on the road, no doubt.
Mm.
Did you say no Diddy?
You know Diddy.
Okay, I said no doubt. Okay, thought that worked. Never mind. Well, Jimmy, it's been great talking with you, and
Mhm.
I'm sorry if I upset you, but
You are all right. Hold on,
yeah,
man. We
dude,
got to talk.
that's why we
What
do
do you
the
think about
podcast.
that? The West champion, the Boise State UNLV. What do you think about that one? What do you think?
You
Boise
you
State
you know,
UNLV.
Genti's gonna go for
Mm,
at least 125, 150 yards
mm, mm, mm,
and two touchdowns
mm. So they blow him out.
easily,
Okay. Okay.
easily. The University of Las Vegas. You ever been to Las Vegas? You ever
Yes.
wanted to go to school when you
Many
were
a
in
time.
Las Vegas?
No,
Dude,
I
no.
didn't want to go anywhere outside the strip in
Right.
Vegas. You
So
know,
I think we're gonna have a little bit more focused Mormon team with Boise State. They're
What we
going to
got?
Sin City, dude. Oh, we're on to something here. The Mormons going to Sin City.
Hey, they're
Man, I
gonna
should have done more thought. I could have come up with a couple jokes about that, but
yeah. I mean,
well, Jimmy, I love you. And
Sunday.
until Sunday,
Yes,
um,
sir.
we'll talk again.
All right, my
I
brother.
love the ball cap or the
Yeah,
stocking
man.
cap, just in time for it being cold.
Oh, look, spooky dog. Spooky dog.